What's up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again with one of the most random and possibly unique diecasts of 2025. This is the John Hunter Nemechek. Get this, Backstreet Boys Toyota Camry. Yeah, I didn't have this on my bingo card, but anyways, let's check out this very interesting diecast. I'll be right back. And here we go, folks, with one of the most random diecasts of 2025, the Backstreet Boys Toyota Camry for John Hunter Nemechek. This car, I believe, ran at the Spring Las Vegas race. This paint scheme is definitely very nostalgic for a lot of reasons, but I think one reason that might not be talked about enough is this was very common back then in the early 2000s, where a music group would sponsor a NASCAR Cup car or even a Busch Series car, because they would have either a partnership with another brand they were already associated with, or they would just flat out say, "Hey, we want to be on the vehicle for a lot of times the Richmond fall race or late summer / fall." Where they would run a lot of music brand stuff. So it's definitely takes me back to that early 2000s Winston Cup era, even a little bit of the Nextel Cup era. I'm gonna go ahead and get the diecast out of the box. I'll be right back. And here we go, folks. Check out this paint scheme. So if you like three-dimensional graphics, you like paint schemes that you can definitely tell it's a full wrap style livery. This thing has a ton of stuff going on with it. So not only do you have obviously like this stage light kind of a vibe to it, right? You have like the light beams, but then you also have the top of the car has kind of the a dark sky. So that's actually a really cool aesthetic, like it's a night sky with, like, I don't know, spotlights. Then you have the gold trim around the car. Now I don't know if this is the actual metallic printed gold or it's just a faux colored gold, because sometimes they did so. Especially during like when Noah Gragson drove for what was I think they were still called Petty GMS. I could be tripping on that. But anyway, some of the cars were produced with like a gold printed trim, and then some of them were just kind of a flat gold. If I had to guess, I'm going to say this one actually has the printed gold. So this one should have higher quality. Over the front windscreen of the diecast, you have Nemechek right there with the Toyota badge. You have Backstreet Boys right there on the hood of the car. Again, very nostalgic. This is something we used to see a ton of in NASCAR when they would have, I mean, it didn't matter if it was Kevin Harvick, it might be, I don't know, Tony Stewart or something, or Bobby LeBlanc, I don't know. It could be any of the drivers, and they would have all these just different, cameo appearances on the cars, or for maybe the Busch series. It's just really cool stuff. Even in commercials, right? They would have unique partnerships. It was definitely a different time of the sport, and it shows you how popular it was. So this is not only a throwback to, well, the music of the time, but kind of the Winston Cup era itself. With the front of the diecast here, again, a big fan of gradients around paint schemes. I like how the front of the car kind of darkens, and then you can see the Camry badge, or the Camry wording rather, that kind of pops up there. I like that. That's a cool touch. Got the 42 right there on the left side with the LMC logo on the right side. You got your both Sunoco decals, which aren't the Sunoco decals supposed to be lower? Am I tripping on this? Let me show another one here. Yeah, this is what I was... Check this out. I don't know if that's an error or it's supposed to be like that, but I think the Sunoco decals... No, it's not an error. Because here on this, this is a Columbia Bubba Wallace diecast, you could see the Sunoco decal is raised up. So it had me tripping there, because I guess I didn't recognize I don't know, at least last year or so, they started putting the Sunoco decals higher. I don't know. Anyways, go to the left side of the diecast here. Again, full wrap paint scheme, a lot of three-dimensional graphics to it. You have the 42 right there with that faux kind of a gold touch to it. Then you have the line that goes across the bottom skirt of the car. Now, I will say, though, again, full wrap car, you're going to have a few imperfections. Like right here, this decal is a little bit raised up, so that stripe, which is supposed to be perfectly flush with the rocker box, can be a little bit off. So it's a difficult thing to get these cars wrapped fully, so I'm going to cut them some slack there. Got the Nemechek signature and kind of a bold font to it. I like that. It's very sharp. Got the American flag there. Got the cross there. That is really awesome. Go right to the what is it? The B and C post. You have two decals that I really don't recognize. You have No, that's the Pi Barker logo. He ran what was it in the Bush, not Bush series? Yeah, we're going way back. The Xfinity series when it was called that. He ran that the 20 car, and they were sponsored by them. I don't know what that D30 protected sponsor is. You have Olipop there. That was a, what was it, the SpongeBob car or something? I don't think it ran in 2025, but they had like a show car or something with it. Go over to the B post of the car. You can see the B post decal is a scotch lower. You have the Toyota badge right there. Not sure what the second decal is. Maybe it's Legacy Motor Club, SEM, and then something else. You got Backstreet Boys into the Millennium right there. Which, I mean, if you're unfamiliar, the Millennium was a massive marketing campaign across pretty much every brand and commercialized product. It was like massive deal. I mean, the build up to year 2000, it was just really wild, man. Obviously I was barely born before then, but you still got a sense of the marketing around it. I remember, oh my goodness, just you would see so many different like paint schemes and like commercials in NASCAR, and it just like the way the aesthetics were just drastically different than they were just a few years before the millennium. Like 2002, 2001, 2003. You can definitely see the change. Like kind of like, okay, we're going to push the boundaries of our technology, so to speak, in terms of marketing right after the millennium. It was pretty interesting. You got two more decals here I don't recognize. You have the Gear Wrench logo, and then you have Safety Clean and the Mobile One decal. 42 there. Cup Series Goodyear. Go to the back panel of the car. You have, this is pretty cool, kind of a stripe right there behind the Toyota badge. You have Camry XSE. Backstreet Boys logo once again. Got the 42 on the right side, Toyota. Got Legacy on the left side, and then Mobile One on the left side as well. This is pretty cool how it's like almost like it's looking through like a tinted glass, if you will. How you have like the sheen of the spotlight in the background. That's pretty cool. Go to the right side of the diecast here. You have the gold once again. I don't know if it's actually supposed to wrap like that. Maybe I had it incorrect. Maybe it actually is supposed to wrap up here. Because this one looks like it did a little bit. I don't know. Maybe that's a decal error. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. I have no idea. I have no idea. Anyways, over here to the right side of the decal of the B post, you can see is accurately put. It's a really cool car. I will say though, I feel like they should have made this logo a little bit larger. There's a lot of real estate on the car, and it's kind of a font that I feel like it's a little bit of a skinny font. It would have been better if they would have took up a little bit more real estate to make it a little bit easier to read, in my honest opinion. We're at the top of the diecast here. This is pretty cool. Once again, big fan of gradients on paint schemes. You got the light blue right here with the wording. Then you kind of go to the darker of the sky, I guess it would be called. Then you have the 42 right there, that gold touch. Back window says Nemechek, and then once again, Backstreet Boys on the deck lid. Guys, this is one of those obscure paint schemes. I feel like years from now, we're going to be shocked that it actually got produced. I have no idea if this is going to be in the Authentics line. I have no idea how many got made. But I would say, with it being such an obscure car, and to be honest with you, I think this might be one, or at least one of very few 2025 Nemechek diecast to actually be made. I'd highly recommend getting it. It has all the makings of just one of those random like 2013, 2014, 2015 cars that you can't believe actually got made. So it's very, very obscure. I would pick it up. I think the 2026 Dollar Tree car for Nemechek, I could be tripping on that. I want to say that one's actually getting made, and you could get the pre-orders right now. So 2025 might have been a step back in terms of Nemechek diecast, but potentially it might get some cool ones in 2026. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free to use that promo code down there in the description. You don't have to. That's all for now. DB signing off.